Let's take you live to Perth. The opposition leader Peter Dutton is speaking to the media.
6 months ago, but I do that with editors, with journalists on a regular basis. So I don't think there's any surprise about Joe's connectedness. I don't think I've seen someone more connected into the corporate sector or into Labor or the coalition side of politics. That was his job at Rear Window.
So the narrative that he's spurred you on this attack against the Prime Minister's Qantas upgrades, or that you've spurred him on, is that just Labor playing the man instead of defending the issue?
Look, I think what's happening here, as you see the Labor Party dumping the story against the Integrity Commissioner, other issues that they're trying to run this week, it's all a giant distraction away from the main game here. The Prime Minister has two questions to answer. One is, did he pick up the phone as Transport Minister of this country and ask the CEO of Qantas for an upgrade of his flights? Now, it took 5 days to get some sort of a statement out of the Prime Minister. Nothing he said in the 5-day period was coherent. And then, issuing the clarifying statement, we find out this morning that the Prime Minister's clarified the clarifying statement, but there's still great ambiguity about what he's saying. That's the first question he needs to ask. And we still don't, frankly, have a clear, or I don't think, honest answer from the Prime Minister. The cute form of words coming out of the PMO and out of the Prime Minister just don't add up to a credible response. The second question, of course, and I think it's particularly pertinent here in WA, where people know when you go back to Melbourne or Sydney or Brisbane or Tassie, wherever it might be, to visit family or to go there for business, you're paying through the nose for airfares. And our argument about allowing Qatar into Australia is that it would put downward pressure on those airfares. Now, Mr Albanese has to answer the question why he went against the department's advice, why he went against the inclination of the current Transport Minister in relation to allowing Qatar in. He still has not answered that question. So all of these red herrings and distractions should be seen for what they are. But we've got a Prime Minister at the moment who can't tell the truth to the Australian people. Not only is he wrecking the economy, but he's also trashing his own credibility. And this Prime Minister lurches from one disaster to the next. And the people paying the price for that are Australians. We've had a threefold increase over the last 2 years of the number of manufacturing businesses that have closed, and that's all on the Prime Minister's watch.
Bridget McKenzie now isn't sure she's declared all of her own flight upgrades. Does she need to, and doesn't that show some hypocrisy?
Well, I think what it shows is that Bridget has been open and honest and forthright, the complete opposite of what the Prime Minister has been. Bridget McKenzie wasn't the Prime Minister or the Transport Minister requesting flight upgrades from the CEO or a proxy for the CEO, or call, or maybe not call, maybe text. I mean, the Prime Minister just continues to dig deeper each day. If he's just honest on day one, then this issue would have been dealt with. But you've got a Prime Minister who's being dishonest with the Australian people, and I think that much is obvious.
She has failed to declare those multiple flight upgrades which have been breach of parliamentary rules. Will you sack her from your front?
No, I won't. And she's gone through a process. She's issued a statement this morning, which, as I say, deals with it in a transparent and honest way, the complete opposite of the approach that Mr Albanese, as Prime Minister, has taken. And I think the Prime Minister, every time he does a press conference, I think there are more questions that need to be answered than answers provided.